Now we can talk about Periyadavargal, where that particular scene, Suraj will be in the dump yard where he falls down while collecting those garbage. How did you visualize that scene?
When I took that scene, I asked Suraj that it has only one take, because when he fell down to this stingy mud, after that it is very difficult. He need to wash his whole body. He need to wash his dress, and it take a long time. So we need to take it in a one shot. And also it's very stingy. We can't stand there for more than 5 minutes. So it is very like that. That place is like that. Then he said, "Okay, we can take it in a one shot." So everything is the everything camera is ready. It's in a crane. So the camera is set. We take a without the artist. We take the camera movements, everything before that. Without the artist, this is how the camera is moving, and we took many rehearsal for the camera and sound people without the artist. Then we take the this shot, and I think that the only thing advantage is that except Suraj, if I am casting any other big stars in this movie, then they may be refused to do this uh, portion, because they will ask to set the mud, not to the real mud. Not They are not willing to fell down in a stingy real waste. They should ask for create this art setup. But Suraj never asked her. He said that, okay, I am ready to fill down this real waste. So actually, that was the beauty of that scene. The real portion, the real set, the real waste. So he has not any hesitation to do that scene.
No, I
Hmm.
wasn't talking about the place. I'm asking about the actor who have acted that scene was real. He was really falling down. Is that fine to you?
Yeah.
Because it might harm him because it was a real dump yard. Why that realistic thing? I'm not asking about the location.
Right. Yeah, I am actually that scene is a just a, we are in when he feel the this stingy thing.
Yeah.
Background trope is there is the waste is there. So if we are cheating the scene, then we can't able to show the real waste behind him. So we need to change the camera angle to something closer. Only the pitch, and he fell down. We can't portray the other background. But in this scene, everything is there. The background is there. Background there is a lot of waste is there. The pitch is there. Everything is there. If we are trying to cheat the scene, then we can try to compromise the frame, compromise the shot. So I think this would be good. The framing sense, this shot would be good. The real place is good. So that's why I think that I know that pelling in a stingy place is not done much harm, not done much damage to anyone, because we are all ready to the Dettol, the water, everything is ready to wash him. So that's okay. But if the actor is hesitated, then I need to change.
Change. When I see your films, the child character which are coming in the throughout the film, which will be connected with the pets, kind of in Pera, that guy will be so connected with the fish, and also he is very connected with that surrounding everything. All these tiny things, it is aesthetically connected with the common life. These kind of scenes never come from the imagination of them. Have to be there. It has to be come from the personal life, personal experience only. It will come. How you add up these kind of aesthetics in your script?
That is actually it just naturally came to the during the script. I think this the connection with the pets in Periyathavar, there is a lot of small things are putting together, like these fishes. Fishes is a very important character in that Periyathavar actually. So many shots I planned with the fish tank. Fish tank means the smaller fish tank in the
Yeah,
house.
sure.
So the train is passing through the reflection of the fish tank, and the uh, the father and the child putting a dead cat to the waste box. And then this is commonly coming in almost all the movies. I think Veilmarangal is also an extension of this movie. In Veilmarangal also the child is rescuing a
Yeah,
pet,
dog, stray dog.
rescuing a small dog.
And also in the end,
Yeah,
he will
stray
be
dog.
having
And
a
then in
lamb.
the lamb in the Himachal Pradesh, he is connected with a lamb. So these are, I think, in my movie, the movies are all about not all about the human. It is also with all about these uh, the other animals also. So in Sound of Silence also there is a lot of lambs are there. So I think in in a film, we are not supposed to tell the story of human being. We are supposed to tell the story of animals. We are supposed to tell the story of nature. We are supposed to tell the story of all the atmosphere around us. So then only it is complete. Otherwise, it is just human telling story. So if we are trying to make a film realistically, we need to portray all the things around us.
So, talking about Vere Yadavargal, in the title card, you have mentioned that this content have the 10 years of happenings in Kerala, which was the incidents happening in Kerala was inspired from this film. So, all your films before Vere Yadavargal have a single plot or a single or 2 point of layer the story will flow. But in Vere Yadavargal, there are simultaneous stories which you talk about migrant people, you talk about and also you talk about Muddanga issue. And before your film, when I saw there is no much humor or much other things were added up, but in Perariya Dargal, the humor line was really added. It was what you say, it is actually designed the film into a different level. Without that humor, the Bera will be different, will be very sad. But the thin humor line between the daddy and son and the band group you have featured, those things of Pera added up the colors of Pera into a different space. Why you want to handle the different layer of stories in Pera?
Yeah, actually in Periyathwar there is a line before starting the movie. This the incidents, whole incidents is happening in the last 10 year of Kerala. So actually that is a movie. The movie in the last 10 year, what happened to the common man, common people, what especially the Dalits and the underprivileged people, what happened to them in the last 10 years in Kerala. So there is a lot of incidents like the Muttanga is there, and there is a lot of eviction happened to the people in the name of road construction or any uh, other construction work by the government. There is a lot of people lost the home, and there is a lot of people they have no home. So actually, the Periyathur is a mixture of all kind of issues happening or facing by the underprivileged people, the Dalit people, the people who have no address, the marginalized peoples, the people from the other states who are working in Kerala. So it is not just like a film have a full-fledged story from a beginning to the end. It is portraying some lives of different people. These all together happening in the Periyathavar. I planned this movie like that. The Periyathavar is a story of many Periyathavar. Many people have their have not their own names because usually when we are going to a buy a fish when we are going to a fish market to buy fish. Usually we are buying fish from a same person day every day, but we don't know his name. We are just call him as a fisherman or something. When we are going to a barber shop, we are cutting for the haircut. Usually for the many years we are going to that barber shop and cutting the same barber, but we don't know what is his name. So this is the how the things. There is a lot of people connected with the Periyathavar. us every day, but we don't know what is his name. But we are connected with him every day for many people. Some guy is coming to every day to our doorstep and collect our waste baggage and go on. But we don't know. For the last 10 year or more than 10 year, in a flat, if we are living in a flat, the same lady is coming to collect the waste, but we don't know what is his name. Our kids say that is the waste collecting chechi or something, but we never call her as his name, as her name. So there is a lot of people they not claim their names. They are calling by their job.
Yeah.
So I put these characters together, many characters, the band master, the workshop guy, the people who was uh, coming from the other state to the migrant laborers. Yeah, and so this is all about the name itself portrayed the movie. The name's unknown, Perariyathavar. That is the subject of that movie.
Suraj get a new job with the migrant people where he travel in a tempo. Apparently, in another tempo, the three full of bunch of buffaloes was stuffed in, and he was going. How in the out of focus you keep that catching the person, and you shift into this spider thing, and also in the toy shop scene. All these things are metaphorically said, but did you while you're writing? Have you think that this is little bit outdated? Why I have to go for this, or else you're fine with this kind of metaphorical things? Way of telling story is fine.
I purposefully put that scenes in the movies. I think that this metaphorically is important for the film, and this the buffalo scene in Periyathavar, and the buffalo scene is a little bit different because that metaphor is a little more like planning, because the situation of the life is same. This animal and this human, the situation is like same. They are traveling in the same way. They are going to the same like going. They are bring for laboring or slaughtering. The buffalo is going to be maybe go to the slaughtering, but this guy is going to like a slaughtering because they are going to a job to do a job. But we never thought that for traveling these people like this, a bunch of people thickly packed in a van, and they are transported to a job that is inhuman actually. So that is why I purposefully put that two shots. But this scene is we can see everywhere in the nation.
In Kadapukana Neram, where the weapon was symbolized as a power of the police, power of the people. So you have symbolized like that. How you wrote in the script?
Exactly. The in the scripture Kadubukuna Neram, the protagonist itself is saying the same dialogue. The police has the power, or the state representing the police is representing the state. So he has the power when only he has the gun. If without a gun, he's just a human being, not a representative of power. So usually, this gun is used to fear the people. All the government and government through the police machinery, they try to fear the people with the weapon. So the weapon is uh, just become the symbolizing of a uh, power politics. So that's why I portrayed this gun as a symbol of the power in Kadupukam. And when this gun shifted to other people, it get into the lady, then she has the power. So in the film, these both the characters are changing the gun in one sense. Uh, the thing is clear that who has the gun, he got the power. So this is clearly establishing in the film, and this is the this is how these all these government machinery is working. They are working with this police force and through this weapon.
Kadupukana, where the fight scene happened between the female lead and the police. In that way, you have portrayed in a cinematic way. You added up something which is which will not
Yes.
happen in real. So about that scene, can you tell us how did you adapt the cinematic experience to the real stories? Why you wanted to add it up?
In Kaduvukkunam, actually the story is happening almost 80 percentage between two characters, with the only two characters. So if we didn't add up some cinematic element without disturbing the realistic approach, otherwise it would be getting dry. The whole sequence, because only two people, they are walking, they are talking each other. So we need some kind of trauma in between, but that trauma didn't disturb the realistic kind of this approach. So that's why I added up some small elements, like one sequence, they are fighting each other. When the police guy beat beat the woman beat back, and uh, these are all added up elements. It is a little bit cinematic, but sometimes we need to use some cinematic elements in the story. But I take care to not become a too melodrama, or not allow to disturb my track of the real picturization. But sometimes we need to do a small elements addition like this.
Your film have this separate track to showcase how the police atrocities are in the society.
Yes, exactly. I think in our country, we can't able to go to a police station without a fear. The common people, uh, if you ask me to, what is the most fearful things in your life, then I said it is going to a police station, because I can't able to go police station without a fear, because these police people, the majority of the police, not the whole police system, but the 80 percentage of the police, they are behaving to the public with a very their behavior is very bad. I think they're not like cultured people. They are acting. So if you are going to a police station, when a politician is called to the police station and asked, this guy is coming, please do some favor, then they will behave properly. They will behave with a very good manner. Otherwise, it is bad. When you are traveling to a car or motorcycle, uh, during a police checkup, police checking in a road, their already their body language is like that. They are showing the power. They are showing the arrogance. Uh, they have a thought that they are bound to they are bound to treat people badly. So I think the problem is coming with their training. In the police training itself, we need to teach the police people to behave public very politely, very properly and gently. But I think sometimes it may be in their syllabus, but they are not properly obeying this. So we need to give the proper discipline to the police force, instead of showing this arrogance. They should be become a they should learn to behave politely to the people, because they are the servants of the
Government.
common people. But nowadays we can't think the police station without a fear.
Yeah, true, sir. So, adding upon that, when I saw Kadu Pukkana Neram, I have that similarity with the Unda, the Malayalam movie which featured Mammootty. The same similarity was there, but the way they handled that movie was so dramatic, and they had it up the humor. The same thing you're dealing with, it is more realism and more real content you are putting into it. But on the other hand, in the mainstream film, the same content has been handling, but in a different way. How you see all these things?
Uh, because this is I didn't watch the movie, but some of my friends called and tell that these both the films have a similarity. As you said, they are not taking this subject so deeply. They are taking the subject and making some fun or comedy type of situations, and make it a commercial stuff. That is they want to do. Uh, but I'm happy that they're taking these type of subjects into their films, into a commercial movie, even though they are not going deep to the subject. I thought that the Newton is also the Hindi film. Newton is
Yeah.
also have some almost the same element, but they are trying. Both these films are trying to getting these stuff to a commercial level, but not going to the deeper level of the what is the exact problem. They are not ready to discuss what is the exact problem. They are not ready to research what is happening in this. So I think they need a subject, and they are making this stuff to a entertainment level. That is happening, but it's glad that at least they are taking this subject to the film, whatever it may be, a commercial or something, but they are taking its the subject. That is a welcoming part of that.
Every film got a line of Buddhism and also Zen. So all your protagonists go through that way. They seek that kind of Buddhism or Zen. Why you are so connected with Buddhism and Zen?
Actually, I am very fascinated with this Buddhist thought, Buddhist philosophy. So I I visited a lot of Buddhist monasteries all over the places in India and abroad. Whenever I reach a place, especially in abroad, I try to visit if any Buddhist temple is there. So I have always a fascinating with the philosophy is I attracted with the philosophy. So in some of my movies, like Sound of Silence, Painting Life, or this Buddhist monk is an important character. There is a Buddhist prayer we used the chanting we used. So it's like just a sort of spiritual, spiritually philosophy, not the meaning. I I didn't the meaning of exact the spiritual, but it is like a meditating mood. When we watching a film, we should get a meditative feel. We should get a spiritual feel with the nature, with the surrounding sounds, with the other other human beings, and the humanity is the basic philosophy of Buddhism. So that's why I attracted regarding this.
In your film, too much of as you mentioned, too much of Montessori scenes and Buddhism scenes has been. How you managed taking this outstation location, getting the permission from them? How this process will go on? Because you are going Ladakh, Rajasthan, in many different locations. Getting the permission on a shooting date, it will be a difficult thing. How you manage those things?
That is happening with the. Usually, I am when I choose a location outside Kerala or outside India or any other Indian state. Usually, I didn't depend the production guys. Means the
The
typical
team.
production controller.
Yeah.
I didn't depend them. So I try to find some connection in that place. If an example for the painting life, we shot in Sikkim.
Yeah.
So I try to find some key people from the Sikkim who is uh, involved with these issues, like who is participated in the strike against the dam issue,
Mm.
some activists. So I found them, and then I asked them to help to shoot this movie, because in painting life there is a one undercurrent story is against the dam. So I got some connection like Tenzing Lepcha. He is a very famous activist there. He done more than 100 days hunger strike against the
In
dam
that movie
construction.
also that you have mentioned the character
Yeah,
Chocobo.
yeah, right. He's also acted in this movie.
Yeah.
So he's a very famous activist there,
Mm.
and he has a good connection there. So he helped me to get the permissions, to get the locations, everything. And the Kim Song Bhutia, he is also representative of a waste management system. So zero waste management system. So he's a very actively involved in. Kim Song is actively involved in zero waste management, and he has a organization there to keep Sikkim very cleanly
Okay.
and very naturally. So these people, they have not connected with the film. They have not any connection with the film. But when we approach them with a movie like this, with a good a plot related with the city, a plot related with the environment, a plot related with the dam construction, then they will help us. So this is happening in all the films. When I trying to shoot in other locations, I will try to find the people who is connected with these environmental activities or any other activists in their places. So they can have many resources and they will help us. So I am going on I'm going in another way, a parallel way, rather than a film production team.
Production team.
So that's why it's happening. Yeah.
All of your films have this folklore songs, maybe folk songs of that. In even in Way Home, in Ajmer, you feature some songs. Even in Agash Tende Niram, in all the in Sound of Silence also you have featured a lot of songs. In different people have came to that short. I mean, Painting Life, I guess. Painting Life, all different state people has come to that shooting and they are singing their own folk songs. What is your interest behind these folk songs? Why you want to keep that?
Actually, this folk song is it's an original art. It represents the their original what is ethnicity. So if a Malayali is singing a Nadan Pata or a Tamilian is singing their folk song or an Assami is singing their folk song, it is related with their ethnicity. So I think it is a very important for the identity of a people. So and also the folk song, I am very interested with this folk song. I always hear many folk songs. In Vitrekula Vadi, we use the original folk song people. They are singing the folk song. They are the original team. We are picked from the Jaipur, and yeah, and they are originally singing the song. So in Agashthanaram, there is a Bengali folk song he is singing, and there is one song is not the Hava language. One song is without language actually, and one song is with Bengali. So in Agashthanaram, I need to portray that from different part of the country, the people came there. So they have their own nativity, they have their own language, their own song, like that. Painting Life also that there is a crew from different part of India. Malayali is there, one Assami is there, and one guy is from Arunachal Pradesh is there, the hunter. So
Yeah.
he's also singing a folk song. So these folk songs are when we are making a film with the nature, with the marginalized people. When considering the marginalized people, this folk song is unavoidable because they are have a culture of this rich art form. All the marginalized people actually, I think they have a rich form of cultural arts.
True.
But I don't know we are taking it seriously or not. But they are the real people. They are the real art people. They are the real song they have. They are the real art they have. So that's why I picturizing some elements of this folk song in different movies.
Okay. So all of your 10 movies which discuss about the eviction, about the indigenous people and the political social issues and the real issues which is happening in Kerala and also you discuss about the basic issues which applicable universally, which people can connect to it. So do you think that film can change the social issues or society causes anything?
I think film cannot change the entire society, but film can change the human being. When we consider the person as a single, if 100 people watching our movie, 100 people watching this movie, we cannot able to change these all 100 people, but we can change one or two people among these 100. So that's a significant change, and we can help to discuss these issues among the other people. That is a major thing. If change is coming the secondary, sometimes the change may become, sometimes it would not be happen. But the people should discuss the issue what we raise. What is these issues? What is happening here? What is the inner truth behind these issues that we discuss? When Kadubukunaram is coming, all people discuss about the UAPA. So, but the government didn't withdraw the UAPA. That we know. But when some people are charged with UAPA, suddenly they are discussing this card book and the issues we are raising. So it will make to start some hot discussions. And in Vadijarakolla Pakshigal, when after this Birds with Large Wings, after the movie, when it is showing in Delhi, the Human Rights Protection chairman saw the movie, and then he intervened the issue. So then he asked why these victims didn't get the pension, why didn't get the compensation of it, and then he said he asked it to the state to give a report, suddenly give a report of why it is delayed. So then state is give a report and they get the compensation for the few people, and it is a good change. Like this, how we are changing the society. We cannot change the entire society, but we can change small segments. We can change some human beings, likewise, and ultimately, it will eventually help to a change that we can hope.
So you were mentioned about the birds with large wings. You were discussing about a multi-company called and the company which sells the pesticides endosulfan. While you're filming that, do you had any issues with that company because you're filming them what they did? Do you face any kind of issues while releasing or while filming?
Actually, no, because the company is these partly owned by the government itself. When I shoot in the real places, we are shooting the real places and the real people. But we firstly we approach all these the activists there. They are still actively involving in the protest, actively involving the strike for getting the justice for these victims. So these people are with me on the whole time of the shooting. They are with me, and so there is no issues are happen. And the issues are happened after the actually I think after the movie because after the movie there is some the vigilance cases happen against me to my profession, related my profession, and but it is like it is like a government part. When you are a government employee, when you are making a movie against a government, then usually government have a lot of ways to trap you because they can incur the vigilance inquiry or any cases. That is usually happen, but a vigilance case is charged and then it is dropped out. Uh, there is not any protest from the companies happen.
So, so we'll talk about Sound of Silence, the 100th movie of MJ Radhakrishnan.
Yes.
So yeah, so how was the journey with you and MJ Radhakrishnan sir? Because you guys worked for 9 films, and how you guys sit and discuss the script?
The from the very first movie, MJ is with me for the continuous 9 films, and we have a good collaboration because we are never like a cameraman and director. We are just like a brothers. Actually, he's my elder brother like that. So our family is also very familiar. And the thing is that I think I didn't want to explain a lot to him when we make a film. When I want a shot, I didn't need to explain a lot. I just said, Jetta, this is the things I need.
Preview.
Then okay, he got it. He got it. So there is a silent communication we have because he know what I wanted and I know what he will give to me. So it's a very that's a rapport between a director and cameraman, and also we have a same wavelength in the visual language. So we both like the landscape, using of the landscape and the using of natural lights and the real location shoots. So that is a we have the same concept on this type of filmmaking. Uh, Actually, I think in Malayalam there is not any other filmmaker have a long direction with any cameraman. This long
Yeah,
9 films. So it may be a big number.
yeah, it is a huge loss for you and for the industry too. How did you manage this after this film? After his loss, how with whom you want to work? Because MJ Radhakrishnan's son also working right now. He was associating with your films also. So how you how are you going to connect with the other cinematographer for your film? How this going to happen?
When we are working together when he is alive, when we are working together, many cinematographers, like many master cinematographers, also approached me many times, and they asked me, we can do one movie at least. Then I said, no, 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 I can't, because me and MJ is have a very close relation in profession and in life. I cannot think of another cameraman. And also MJ is also like that. When we are planning a film, if he has another movie in the same date, then he dropped that movie and came with me for my movie. So that was our relationship. So after his demise, it was actually very difficult. So up to that time, I didn't think that who may be my next cameraman. I never thought like that. So because I always think that when we together doing many more movies, and there is not a single time I thought that I need another cameraman. Because it was his demise is very sudden. And after that, my 11th movie, when I planning to my 11th movie, I have a very confusion who will be the next cameraman. And then I decided that it is my duty to debut to his son. So that's also my duty, because his son also worked as the associate cameraman with him in Sound of Silence. So that was the first movie he associated with his father. And after that, we all together. And we know when he was very young, he's grown in front of my eyes, and he's just like my another son. He's just like my son, and so I think it's my duty to debut to him, and I need to support the family also, the family. And then uh, I asked him to do the camera for my next movie. So we completed that movie, and I think from the next movie also he will be the cameraman.
It's really happy to hear this. So moving on to the next question. In your film, sound design is very important. You give more importance to the sound design, and yeah,
Kadubukulam Jaydevan got award for national award for the sound
yeah,
designing,
yeah.
and that movie got in Kerala state also all the sound award. That is the location sync, sound design, and sound mixing, all the award. Sound is an integral portion, because then after my two movies, Saira and Raman, from Vitrekula itself, I started to use sync sound. And at that time, Malayalam industry is not familiar with the sync sound. Only one or two movies. I think not one or two movies. Only single movie. So in 2010, there is not sync sound is popular in Malayalam cinema. The whole film is dubbing. At that time, I do this movie in sync sound, Vitrekula. So Jaydevan was the sound designer at that time. Actually he's debuted with me for this
Mhm.
movie, with Kulaveri, his first work. And then sound mixing engineer is also Pramod Thomas. He's a very uh, reputed sound mixing engineer, but he's already working with the Marathi movies and Bollywood movies. When I asked to mix this Malayalam movie, he came to me. And Jayadevan and Pramod are my sound team initially, from Vittiyakulavadi to Kadubukunaneram, and up to Velmarangal. So then Smijit Kumar is also came to sometime as the location sound recordist. So I have both of these three people, Jayadevan, Smijit, and Pramod. They are all together with me for the last 8 films. So like MJ Radhakrishnan also, they know what I wanted to do, and I am also give them totally freedom for and I give the total atmosphere for the location sync sound, because the location sync sound is very difficult. Without a proper discipline crew, it don't be able to do, because otherwise when we recording the sound, the whole people is doing many things, it don't happen. So I give the proper discipline to the crew, and I give the total atmosphere, a silent atmosphere to record the this guys. So they are happy also. They can do the work properly. They can do work the professionally, and also for the post-production. Post-production, I will give enough time to sound editing, sound mixing, everything I will give enough to, because we have not a particular time to release. We are not hurry, making hurry to my technicians. I ask them, you take your own time and give the
Right.
best product.
So when we are talking about sound design, you also use a minimal music background score into your films, and also very peculiar sounds only use when particularly in Veil Marangal, where they shift into Himachal Pradesh. Veil Marangal have a certain theme music in that film. Other than comparing to the other films, every films have that not a particular theme music, but Veil Marangal have a particular theme music. How you want to how you work with this background score and background music, because you don't give some jarring music, it was very light, and it also used to narrate the story, to flow the story. So how you do the background scoring
I always try to minimize the background score, because when we are sitting together with my music directors, I said that we can use the music only in needed places, not in all places, only in needed places. And I will count the how many number of piece of music in my movies. I didn't allow more than 15 or 20 pieces. So it is a maximum. In some in Vajicharola Pakshan only one piece is there. In the end credit only we are using the music. And in Agashthana Nayaram, the first music is starting in the 25th minutes only. First 20, no, in Perariyatham. In Perariyatham, the first music is starting after 25th minute. So this is a very particular, that because when we are using the music, it creates an artificial feeling actually. So we are using the music for creating emotions. We are pushing up the emotions. For that, we are using the music. So we need to cut short maximum music, not what kind of that, not become melodramatic. So in Veilmarangal, the music director is Bijipal. We are working, first time we are working together. Bijipal is a very famous music director. He is doing very big number of commercial films. So when we sit together, I said that we need to, we have two theme musics. One is for the Kerala, and when we are going to the Himachal Pradesh, we can change it entirely to a uh, northern pattern. So that's how it happened. The theme music is happening in two pieces. In Periyathavar and The Sound of Silence, Akash Sundaram, Isaac Thomas Kotukapalli is the music director. So he is also very interested to minimum use of the music pieces. So, and in Painting Life, actually, it is done by the a Singaporean musician, Mark Chan. So he's also that's a different terrain. So I thought a different music is needed. From a non-Indian music director, a different music is needed.
So, and also in Agashathandra Niram, where the old people were sit and they have one guitar in that room, and also in other movie, the Rajasthani guy will play a different instrument. In Saira, the father of Saira will be a tabla player. So everybody is connected with the instrument. That is not a normal instrument; it's a peculiar instrument. So why you want to keep that instruments?
Actually, in that is when I thought it is, I actually happened very naturally happened during the writing time. I didn't think priorly that which instrument is using. When writing the script to Saira, the character of Nirmadi Venu is actually he's a tablistic. So then I thought that there is a street musician is also portrayed with the tabla. And in Veetrikulla the idea is like that. On the way of traveling, they see a music troupe and they are singing. But we didn't fix what kind of instrument that. That I think we can find a original music troupe and they can use their own musical instrument. So that is happening there. And in Agashathana Nairam, we use a song, and then the which instrument is suiting to the Babul song. that we used. And in what is the other instruments used in painting life? I think no, painting life we are not used in the, any instrument. I think so.
No, not in
So
painting.
this is
Just in
actually
sound of silence you have used.
yeah,
The
sound,
Buddhist,
yeah,
when you
sound
go
design.
Buddhist temple, was a lot of sounds will
Yes,
be there.
yeah, that is a natural
Natural,
equipments
yeah.
there. They are using it for the chanting. When I saw this before shooting, I just visited this temple
What is it?
and then saw. Then they demonstrated us
Okay.
how is their pujas, and then I saw these instruments. I asked them to do a whole chanting for us, and they agreed, and they bring all the instruments there on. Uh, that's happening like that's the original instrument and the original monks there.